Alright, let's do a quick overview of how we got to this point. Okay, so now we're over here at the bike, and I'm zoomed in on the ring that you have to mount on your tank. Like I said before, I already have a different quick lock bag for my bike, so I already have this ring installed. But it's really simple. You're going to have either 3 or 4 bolts, assuming that your bike has the filler cap right here. A lot of bikes now will have them on the back of the bike or on the sides or somewhere else. So in that scenario, you're not going to be doing quite as simple of an install with just your 4 bolts here. SW Motech does make brackets for some bikes that don't have the filler cap right up front. You'll have to research that on your own though to figure out what you need for your specific bike. Alright, so once you've got your tank ring mounted on your bike, you can go to your next step, which is determining where you want the quick release located on the bag, because like I said before, you can adjust the forward and backward position on the bike. These, you can see these plastic rivets in here, those don't correspond with, like, it only has 3 notches that it can go in or whatever. You can put it anywhere in this track, anywhere that it fits. So you're just going to set it on here and just kind of look over the bike and figure out what position. Because I've got these bar risers on mine, I can't put it very far forward. I think the rearmost position, like slid back as far as it'll go, is going to be best. Don't forget to check when you put your handlebars full lock. Make sure you're not interfering with anything. And once you determine where you want your quick release plate, then you get to drill holes in your brand new bag. Okay, so in the extra pieces that came with the bag, you've obviously got your quick release plate, and then this other black plastic that I said earlier is your drill template. So you'll notice that it is the same layout as your screw holes. So what you're gonna do is take this piece, and you'll see right here it says back side, and then this says visible side. So you're gonna set this down in the channel in your tank bag with the visible side pointing towards you. Obviously you can see it. Like I said before, am going to put mine so the tank is slid as far back as possible, which means that the quick release plate is at the forwardmost position in the bag. So you stick these on here in place, and then also in the kit, kind of buried in the bags, you've got this little bubble wrap bag. And inside you have got these screws that attach the plate to the bag, and they even gave you a drill bit, which kind of sucks that you got to drill a hole in a brand new bag, well, multiple holes, but at least they gave you a drill bit. It's the perfect size, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you've got the right size bit. You just use this one. So you've got these 4 holes in the plate, but then you've also got these other 2, and I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera here, but this one says anti-theft device, and if you drill this hole here, granted it is a different size bit, so you have to find one, what that does is allow you to put a pin down through the bag, and then it jams the unlocking mechanism. And if you have your zipper locked on your tank bag, nobody can get to that pin, so they can't pull this cord and steal your tank bag. It's not super high security, but it is better than nothing. And then this other hole here, this upper one, says cable feed through. That is if you're setting your bag up for the electrical kit, which I am not doing on this bag, but I am going to do on the other one. So, being that we're only going to do, that we're not going to do the electrical kit on this one, we only have to worry about these two holes and these two holes. Before you just start drilling holes in this thing, you'll want to peel back this Velcro flap. And you'll want to do your best as you're drilling. You'll drill from the bottom side. You want to do your best as you're drilling to keep these out of the way. I know from experience on my other SW Motech bag that when your drill bit comes through the bottom side of the tank, it snags on this fabric. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, just kind of the way it is. I'm gonna try and wedge, I wish you could see better, wedge this down in here out of the way, and then we will get to drilling. Alright, so get your drill, get your template, oops, flip the bag upside down, and start drilling. I guess in theory you could use a Sharpie or something and mark these holes. I'm gonna just try and leave the drill guide in place and see what happens. So now we got 4 holes in our brand new tank bag here. You want to keep in mind, probably don't do it the way I just did. Try and get a block of wood or something to stick in here so that you hold this flap up out of the way. As the drill comes through, it grabs and it'll pull your drill down in, and you don't want to jam your drill bit into this and rip it up. You can see I actually caught it right here, but didn't really tear it or anything. So then move on to the next step. Alright, so now we've got our holes in there. We can take our plate, stick it onto the bottom of the bag, and then put our screws in, tighten everything into place. The bag comes with the tool that you need for those screws. That was nice of them. So flip it over, stick that down on there, and look at that, all the holes line up. And then once you've got it tightened up, your very last step is to put these flaps back in place. Looks like we got lucky on this one and the drill bit didn't catch and tear the fabric. Now we've got our plate on here. Oh, I guess we're not all the way done yet. Last step is to take this little button thread it through here, and that's just to give you something to grab onto when it's on the bike, and I'll show you that later. Alright, back over. Alright, we've got our tank ring installed and our plate on the bottom of the tank bag and our string attached to the short little cable there. So the last thing to do is to stick the bag onto the tank. There you go. It's a little bit weird. After using it a few times, you'll get used to the way it snaps on there. And let me see if I can zoom in on where that string is that you gotta pull. So this is your string. I know that's really hard to see. Right on the front there, you pull that toward the front of the bike and it pops off. Ta-da. So, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next one.